Roger, welcome to the program.
Hey, Travis, doing well. How about you?
I'm doing great, my man. We're going to start with Alabama women's basketball because, frankly, a week and a half ago, this was a team that looked to be really adrift, for lack of a better way of putting it. Next thing you know, 3 SEC wins in a span of 8 days, sitting there now at 500 in the SEC and at least relevant to some NCAA tournament bubble talk. What has been the difference, Roger, between the team we saw at 4-7 in the league and the team that has won 3 straight in the SEC?
Well, this is a team that has a lot of veteran leadership. The 6 seniors that were honored on Senior Day this past Sunday have meant a lot to this program, and they really had to dig deep, as you mentioned just a couple of weeks ago, trailing at Ole Miss in the fourth quarter. Ole Miss team that at the time was 1-10 in conference play and really was not doing well, but Alabama found a way to pull out that victory, and then going into the rivalry game with Tennessee, already a lot of confidence for the Crimson Tide, having won 3 matchups in a row against Tennessee. And again, Alabama was trailing going into that fourth quarter, but Alabama keeps the Lady Vols off the scoreboard until there were 3 minutes left to go in the game. I believe it was like a 14-0 run for Alabama to start the fourth quarter in Knoxville, of all places, and get the first ever win for the Crimson Tide in Knoxville after 22 unsuccessful trips in women's basketball. So the team's really set off that momentum, and it's really similar to what we saw last year when Alabama had the win against Tennessee, had a good run in the SEC women's basketball tournament, and then a good run in the women's NIT. This team's got a ton of momentum, and that really carried over to Sunday's game against Auburn. Strong victory there against an Auburn team that is very tough to beat with the way they just, it's like 40 minutes of hell with Nolan Richardson back in the day with Arkansas. It is a nonstop press. And at Auburn in late January, it really wore Alabama down. But I saw a much mentally tougher team on Sunday. And again, a group of seniors that would not be denied, led by redshirt senior Ashley Williams. Back-to-back doubles for her in the last 2 games against Tennessee and Auburn. And we just heard earlier today that she's the SEC Player of the Week, and that's really well-deserved.
Yeah, it is. And I guess what was a real problem for the program 2 years ago when she sat out that 2015-2016 season, maybe a blessing in disguise in having that redshirt year and being a part of not only last year's team, but looking more and more, would you say, like the Ashley Williams we saw 3 years ago in her sophomore season. The rebounding totals have been consistent throughout her career, but seeing a return in terms of scoring maybe and some contributions in other areas that maybe we didn't see as much a year ago when she was coming back after the year off.
Yeah, that's been great to see. And for her to combine with this other group of seniors, with Hannah Cook, with Neo Knight, Mimi Bolton, and all the rest, it's been really fun to see how they have gone through the ups and downs of this program together. And, you know, this is a group that I think is going to go down as certainly in this century as the most decorated senior class that Alabama had with basketball, for the fact that they were able to end the long losing streak to Tennessee that had the 42 games just a couple of years ago, and now a sustained streak against Tennessee like we've never seen before for Alabama women's basketball. The great run of the women's NIT last year, and now this year. I mean, the whole goal for this entire offseason, going into this campaign and even through the ups and downs of the season, the whole goal has been getting to the NCAA tournament, which has not happened for Alabama since 1999. And like you mentioned, now starting to get some NCAA tournament conversation. The win against Tennessee is the real big key signature win that Alabama has been searching for all season long, and now they get to take on 2 teams this week in Georgia and LSU that are both considered in the tournament right now. So Georgia's a ranked team coming here on Thursday night. It should be a raucous atmosphere at Coleman Coliseum for that game.
It should be. And Joni Taylor, the former Alabama player assistant coach, now the head coach at the University of Georgia. So you'll have storylines galore when the Bulldogs visit on Thursday night. Now, on the baseball front, I know you were out at the Joe over the weekend, saw a good bit of this Alabama team as it opened under Brad Bohannon against Valparaiso. Your initial impressions of Alabama baseball in those first 3 games of the 2018 season?
Well, the most important thing was they got 3 wins, and that certainly was the goal for Alabama heading into the series, and they really had to claw for that victory on Saturday. That was the game I got to call on SEC Plus with Lance Cormier, and it was fun to see Alabama after really not being challenged much the day before when they had the 16-2 blowout win, scored 14 runs in the middle inning. It was great to see them trailing 5-1 work their way back into the game. The home runs by Matt Malkin, Kobe Vance, a big 2-run homer, the first he's had in 2 years for the Crimson Tide. And then Joe Bro, who is becoming a legend already in Tuscaloosa, made a great catch against the wall on Friday, gets the walk-off single bottom of the ninth inning on Saturday, which was really a blessing not only to get Alabama the win, but we had terrible rain after that, and it was a good thing we were able to get that game completed and even Sunday's game completed. So I saw some really good things. I think the returners are coming back in a way that you would want a returning upper-class baseball player. You want those guys to get their hits and contribute like we saw up and down the lineup. And then some of the newer players, even the guys that are like JUCO transfers, like Joe Bro and Jet Manning, they fit in really well to what Coach Bohannon would like to see for this program moving forward. And it was very impressive to see them get the sweep. I'm looking forward to keeping up with their game later today against Middle Tennessee, and then I'll be back on the call for Friday and Saturday's game coming up this weekend against Washington State.
Look forward to it. And if you didn't know, Roger Hoover also play-by-play voice for our Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp of the AA Southern League. And we're talking ballpark food today, Roger. And so in all your travels, I mean, you're going to be the authority on this, given all the ballparks you've been to. Ballpark with the best food and maybe a specific item that really stands out to you.
That's really tough. I've seen some crazy things, and, with the advent of social media and MLB.com's website getting better over the years, now teams are specifically designing food just to get a buzz across social media and things like that. So I've seen that at a lot of AA ballparks in my time in the Southern League, but I've got to go to my hometown Jumbo Shrimp. Maybe a change to the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp going into last season, and we have incorporated shrimp into our concession menu like you would not believe. And I don't get to sample the ballpark food very much, but the thing that my friends and family all tell me they love, our shrimp nachos are top notch. So I've got to go with the shrimp nachos, fresh Mayport shrimp. Travis, as you know, that is the best you'll find in the country. So I've got to go with the Jumbo Shrimp, and we have a lot of different shrimp options for fans of the ballpark. So again, hopefully people will get to make their way to the baseball grounds this year and check out not only the shrimp on the field, but the shrimp at our great concession stand.